As of now, the Vikings are 1-2-1 in big games. They won one, they lost two, and they tied one of their big games. Tied the Packers, beat the Eagles, and lost to the Saints and the Rams. And there are 4 more big games coming up ahead for the Minnesota Vikings. Play the Bears week 11, the Packers in week 12. Right after that, in week 13, they play the Patriots. And then in week 17, they play the Chicago Bears again. And it is so hard for me not to point at Kirk Cousins. Kirk with a K. They paid him a ton of money, and the expectation in Minnesota was, we're going to pay Kirk Cousins a lot of money. It's going to be an upgrade over Case Keenum, and we can win a lot more of these close games that we could not win last year. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, because you look at Kirk Cousins, his stats are really great. I mean, on Sunday alone, he was 31 for 41 passing, 359 yards, a bunch of yards, 2 touchdowns, had an interception. So did Drew Brees. I'll give him one. But he puts up a lot of stats, mostly in garbage time. I mean, this game was not close at the end. At one point, it was, I think, 30-13? Was that the score? I don't know. And this game kind of reminds me of, it's similar to the Packers game, where it's not all Kirk Cousins' fault. In the Packers game, they had a chance, their kicker blew it, and they tied. And I remember that fumble by Adam Thielen, as they were driving, really cost the Vikings a lot. And the Vikings are missing a running game. There are factors going on in the Viking season, the reason why they're losing some of these close games, that are not all Kirk Cousins' fault. But I got to point out, they have 8 big games this year. 4 down, 4 to go. So far, they're 1-2-1. They got to have a winning record in these big games to justify all that money they gave to Kirk Cousins. Personally, I actually think the Vikings are fine. I think they're improving. I think they're getting better. I'm just curious to see what happens at the end of the year. When we look back on these 8 big games, do they have a winning record or a losing record? I'm pretty lenient towards the Vikings this year. They have a new quarterback, a new offensive coordinator, John DeFilippo. And I don't think it's fair to say 8 games in, they're trash. Give up on the whole system. No. The Vikings are okay. In fact, I think the Vikings are improving. You watch, slowly but surely, their timing's getting a little bit better. The play calling's improving. They're just getting more comfortable working together as a unit. My best friend's dad is a hiring manager at a company. And I asked him this weekend, because I knew I was going to talk about this. I said, hey, how long until you expect an employee to be really, really comfortable in their job and fully you take the training wheels off and you trust them? And he said 90 days. That's 13 weeks. So I think that's a very fair amount of time. By week 13, we can expect the Minnesota Vikings to have things rolling full steam ahead, have all the training wheels off, everything running full cylinder. And again, I repeat, the Vikings are improving, but I think we're being a little bit harsh. A lot of people are saying, the Vikings suck. They can't win these big games. They lost to Drew Brees, tied Aaron Rodgers. I do think it matters. They have to have a winning record in the end of these 8 games. There are 8 big games this year. But until week 13, I don't think it's fair to judge the Vikings in these big scenarios, because they're learning, they're mastering their craft, and they're trying to get everything running full cylinder. Until they're fully comfortable, I'm not comfortable saying the Vikings are trash and not any good. And again, in fact, I repeat, I believe the Vikings are slowly but surely making a lot of improvements. We'll judge them next year. Next year is going to be even better for the Vikings. Have a full year with Kirk Cousins, a full year with John DeFilippo. Then I'm comfortable bringing down the hammer if they don't deliver. But until then, I'm not going to be so harsh on the Vikings, because they're still learning how to work together. They're within that 90-day period to give everybody anytime they go to any job. You give them a 90-day evaluation period to figure it out. Then you can go and go, if they haven't figured it out by now, let's can them. Very simple. The Vikings are still in that 90-day evaluation period. My name is Zach Schaumler. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It means a ton to me. This is my podcast. Strong Opinion Sports. It's my pride and joy, my favorite thing in the entire world. If you're not aware, you can subscribe to Strong Opinion Sports on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and on YouTube. You can find the full entire hour-long podcast on YouTube, as well as shorter, interesting breakouts like the one you just watched. And if you really want to help me grow, it would mean a lot to me if you shared this with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. Help me grow Strong Opinion Sports by telling your friends about this show. My name is Zach Schaumler. Thank you so much, and have a great day.